In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Jaina Solo for the Black Series 6-inch line. So this is an action figure that many fans have wanted for their collection for the longest time. She's been out for, I think, 4 or 5 years now at this point. I think she came out around the end of 2018 into early 19. I distinctively recall being out and about and getting her at a grocery store along the way, and she was the only one on the pegs. And this was back when Black Series was still only $19.99. Seems like a pipe dream at this point to have action figures only $19.99 for 6-inch. But here we are now. So I do recall this being an action figure. She did win a fan vote at the time, back in 2016, I think it was. And it was between her and Starkiller, and I think maybe Darth Talon may have been in there as well. And a lot of people were baffled as to how Jaina Solo won. I'm glad she did. It would be nice if we can get Jason Solo and even Anakin Solo at some point. Who knows if that will ever happen. The way Hasbro is, maybe they would do it. But it might not be the action figure that people really want, because they might just get lazy and do like a Luke Skywalker body with a new head sculpt, and people would be really disappointed by that. But for Jaina here, they did a really good job. I really like this action figure. Jaina Solo is one of my favorite characters from the expanding universe, and at the time it seemed unbelievable that we would get an expanding universe character in the Black Series line. I do recall on the packaging they did have her labeled as Legends, which I don't really like that term at all. It's always going to be expanding universe to me. And I think this was one of the last action figures that had the painted face. This was during that transition phase when action figures were going from the photo or the painted skull or the painted face to the photoreal face. So even with a painted face here, I still think it turned out really good. You could definitely tell she's a Solo. I'll say that, and we'll go into the details as to why that is. So, like I said, I don't have the package to show you, but this was in the red and black packaging. If you recall what that looked like, that's the longest running Black Series packaging line that we've had to date. I forget what number she was. I think she may have been in the 60s or 70s, somewhere in that range. Let's just go ahead and take a look at her. So really good sculpting work in the head. Really good paint apps as well. So as you can see, she does have a little bit of a smirk to her, which this is how I say it ties into her Solo heritage. That looks like something Han Solo would do. So it's nice to see that Hasbro was able to capture that detail where you can tell that, yeah, this is definitely Han Solo's daughter. Hair looks really good. I think they did a nice job on that. And for being a hair sculpt that's meant to fit a helmet, you really can't tell that at all. A lot of times when action figures have a helmet that can fit on top of their head, they press the hair down so much to where, you know, it's obvious that she has like a bed head, or not bed head, but it's meant to fit a helmet on, but in this case, not so much. So she does have a flight suit on. I'm not sure exactly which era this is. I suspect this is a much older Jaina. This isn't supposed to be the teenage Jaina from like the Throne, or not the Throne trilogy, but the like New Jedi Order timeline. To me, this seems like something that she'd be more commonly known as in the Legacy of the Force book series, which I have read that entire book series. It's 9 books. Solid series. I know a lot of people have some problems with it, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. And I do recall there were some scenes in it where Jaina did have her X-Wing flight suit on, so perhaps this is what this is based off of. Although I always thought she had more of the, the traditional Rebel red and white flight suit instead of black here. But black looks really good too. There's her collar there, and the control panel for her suit. There's the tubes there. There's a holster and the harness. And I think this whole harness is a separate piece. You can take it off, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, as you can see, you can pop it off there and here. Yeah. Easy enough to take off. I think she looks better with the harness though. It looks kind of odd without it. So in terms of the articulation, she does have a ball joint at the head there. Pretty good range of motion for what it is, even with the hair sculpted as is. She does have hinge at the shoulders, hinge at the elbows. She go past 90 degrees. Hinged wrists. This one goes in and out, and this one goes in and out as well. I'm not sure if she's really borrowing tooling from other action figures. I'm trying to think if she's entirely new or not. She may be borrowing a couple parts here and there. She does have a joint at the torso, and she does have a upper torso joint as well, as you can see there. Of course, she has the hinge at the hips, and the swivel thigh, and the double joint at the knee with the pins, and the rocker ankles. In terms of weapons and accessories, just put her here for a second. She does have a purple lightsaber, which I think is pretty accurate that she had a purple lightsaber. Let me think for a second. Yeah, she had a purple lightsaber. The hilt is unique. I'm not sure if it's specifically accurate to Jaina Solo's hilt. I'm honestly not entirely sure what that looks like. Let's see if I can take this hilt off. And you can attach it to her belt here. Which looks really good. She also has this holster with the pistol here. Which almost looks like Han Solo's blaster, or a version of it. And she also has her helmet here. She has the Rebel symbols, or it might be New Republic at this point. Has a lot of good weathering in it. Some nice details. And it's easy enough to put on her. Looks really good. And let's just go ahead and put our flight gear back on. Alright. Not too bad to put back on. And these stands here are just custom. She doesn't actually come with a stand. And here's her lightsaber blade. But I think that's all I can really show you about Jaina Solo here. Would I recommend her for your collection? I totally would. Might be a little biased for that because Jaina is one of my favorite characters in the EU. But regardless, even if you're looking at it from just purely an action figure standpoint, it's really good. It was one of the last ones with the painted face, which turned out really nice on this. Oftentimes, painted faces have blotchy eyes or misplaced paint apps or anything weird like that, but this one turned out really good. She has a lot of features about her that we really haven't seen on any Black Series action figure since. Oh, whoops. I noticed that there. Let's see. Fit that back around her foot there. There we go. But yeah, anyways, really good action figure. Lots of great components about her. Really good sculpting work all around. Obviously, if you're a fan of Jaina Solo, this is a must-have for your collection. Even if you're not interested in Black Series, I still would recommend this for your collection. If you can only have a few, this is a great contender for one of those few to have. I think a lot of the parts on her have been reused on many action figures up until this point. I think even Mara Jade and who's the other one? Dr. Aphra reused a lot of her parts as well. I think she is entirely newly sculpted parts. Might be a few reuses here and there, but lots of new parts on this. That is. So highly recommended action figure. As far as price is concerned, I'm not too sure exactly what she goes for, but I imagine it's like $50 or less. Which, yeah, it's a little bit more on the pricey side, but it's Jaina Solo. I don't think too many people will complain about paying $50 for her, especially compared to her 3 3/4 inch counterpart here. Big difference between the two, but they still look really good side by side. And we'll just do this. So anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for lots more reviews in the future. There will be many more to come. And if you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way you know when more videos get posted. Check out some of the links in the description as well. Thanks for watching.